In Danish energy policy, waste is a local fuel on a par with straw and wood chip, for example. Waste replaces coal and oil, and the energy is used as power and heating. In this way, one can also reduce the carbon dioxide that's responsible for the greenhouse effect on the planet.
A ban on the dumping of inflammable waste is now being implemented. Instead of dumping, the deposited waste, which amounts to about 550,000 tons, is processed at incineration plants. Here, the waste is used as fuel and the energy exploited. The dumping ban has resulted in substantial reductions in waste's contribution to the greenhouse effect. In other words, the ban effectively eliminates the creation of waste dump gas, methane. Methane, or CH4, is more than 11 times stronger than CO2 as a factor contributing towards the greenhouse effect.
In Denmark, 2 million tons of waste are processed each year by the 30 waste-to-energy plants, which utilize the energy for power and heating. This corresponds to nearly 10% of heating supplied to all households. Work is now underway to further break down waste volumes so that even more of it can be sorted at source if it's to be recycled or isn't suitable for incineration. Apart from boosting recycling, sorting at source means that combustible waste becomes more uniform. This improves the incineration process. One avoids the large fluctuations in calorific values and thereby temperatures. This ensures a high level of energy utilization and less wear and tear on the plants. By sorting at source, additional materials are removed that are of harm to the environment if they're incinerated.
Vi har I Danmark udviklet et effektivt system til...
In Denmark, we've developed efficient systems for waste collection. Municipalities are responsible for establishing their own waste collection schemes. This ensures that such schemes can be designed to suit local conditions and that the individual citizen has the opportunity to exercise influence. In addition to collecting ordinary household waste, municipal authorities are also responsible for setting up special schemes for the collection of hazardous waste and waste which lends itself to recycling. All municipalities have special collection schemes for glass, cardboard and paper household waste. Municipalities are also to ensure that cardboard and paper waste for recycling is collected from businesses.
Refuse collectors are covered by the same rules for the working environment, irrespective of where they work in the country. Some of the waste collection companies also constantly train their personnel in handling various types of waste, as well as in environmental questions in order to assist consumers. Danish waste-to-energy plants must not unnecessarily contribute to pollution. Therefore, large sums have been invested to improve the control of the incineration process. Flue gases are burned off and hazardous substances are collected in special filters. Thereby, only harmless steam is emitted via the plant's smokestacks. Heavy metals in the residual elements from incineration are encapsulated so that they do not leak out into the groundwater table.
Affaldet forsvinder ikke, når det forbrændes.
Waste doesn't totally disappear when it's incinerated. Its properties are changed and the amount of residues which need to be managed afterwards are reduced dramatically. If 8 truckloads of waste are fed into the incinerator, only 1 truckload of residues has to be removed. We prefer to utilize the combustion residues rather than place them in a landfill. The major combustion residues are bottom ash and air pollution control residues. The bottom ash, which consists of the actual combustion products, makes up the bulk part of the residues. The bottom ash, which reflects the composition of the uncombusted waste, is an inhomogeneous granular mixture of partly melted ash particles, pieces of glass and metal, and various sizes of scrap iron.
The scrap iron is removed by magnets and is usually recycled. After further processing and storage, the granular bottom ash is utilized as a structural fill material, for example in the construction of roads and ramps. In order to be utilized, the bottom ash must fulfill certain environmental quality criteria, which are meant to protect the groundwater from contamination. Research projects are therefore being conducted in order to improve the properties of bottom ash. An annual amount of approximately 500,000 metric tons of bottom ash is currently produced by the Danish municipal solid waste incinerators.
A number of the compounds which give rise to environmental concern are enriched in the air pollution control residues as compared to the bottom ash. Therefore, disposal of the relatively small amount of air pollution control residues requires special precautions. The air pollution control residues are produced as a result of the very strict regulatory limitations on stack gas emissions of particulates, acid gases, and other environmentally hazardous components, including heavy metals and dioxins. Danish researchers are continually engaged in projects aimed at developing and improving treatment methods which can ensure that the air pollution control residues can be utilized in an environmentally safe and sustainable manner. An annual amount of 50,000 to 70,000 metric tons of air pollution control residues are produced by the Danish waste-to-energy plants.
I Danmark grundsystemet.
The basic system for waste management in most places in Denmark is based on the utilization of energy from the combustion of waste. This can cause concern about the environmental problems, especially if you live next to a waste disposal plant. As an environmental organization, we believe that you should recycle as much of your household and industrial waste for direct reuse. We have many reasons why we'd seldom object to waste-to-energy plants. The sorting of waste is climbing tremendously. By throwing away the waste that's unable to be recycled and hazardous waste, you get rid of the majority of the problems facing incineration plants. We're constantly working on sharp conditions and regulations concerning pollution from waste-to-energy plants and air pollution. These regulations and conditions are regulated by the European Union. We're a national environmental organization with a local responsibility and local solutions for problems associated with the production of waste. Therefore, we also would like to avoid the not in my backyard effect, people who'd rather not have waste-to-energy plants in their neighborhoods dominating when we're evaluating environmentally the establishment of a waste-to-energy plant. Waste management is not an industry that has a widespread understanding, but it is a public task that everyone should be involved in to reduce the environmental impact. Therefore, we accept the waste-to-energy plants that are necessary to handle our waste problems.
Apart from waste-to-energy plants, sorting at source in households also means that several places in Denmark are now extracting biogas from food waste as well as from food production. In this bioplant in South Jutland, liquid manure from different farm animals is mixed with organic waste from the fishing industry and slaughterhouses. The degassed liquid manure is sent back to farmers who then spread it over fields only when it can be of use to the crops. This reduces the pollution of the groundwater and drinking water. At a later date, the plant is also scheduled to receive organic waste from private households.
There are plans to build more biogas plants in Denmark. Measured in waste volumes, waste-to-energy plants will continue to process by far the most volumes.